somewhere deep in Montana's Bitterroot Wilderness. A group of friends set out for a weekend camping trip. They thought they were ready for anything, but nothing could have prepared them for what they found out there and what followed them back. I never believed that until the summer of 2018, when four friends hiked deep into Montana's Bitterroot Mountains and learned that some trails were never meant to be found. Ethan was the one who planned the trip. He ran a small YouTube channel about wilderness adventures. Nothing fancy, just drone shots, camping reviews, and nature vlogs. When he read online about a forgotten trail called Whispering Pines, he thought it'd be the perfect place to film something new. It wasn't on any map, but that only made it more exciting. He convinced his friends, Lily, Mark, and Ben, to join him. They'd been friends since college, bonded by their love for the outdoors and adventure. None of them believed in ghost stories. They trusted technology, GPS, drones, satellite phones. They thought they could handle anything the wilderness threw at them. The trip started like any other. They arrived in the small town of Darby, Montana, population maybe 700. Before heading into the woods, they stopped at a local gas station to grab supplies. The old man behind the counter saw the coordinates Ethan had written down on his phone. He squinted and asked, "You're going there?" Ethan laughed. "Yeah, just camping. Heard the views are insane." The old man didn't laugh back. "That trail burned down in the 90s. Should have stayed that way. Folks went missing there, never found. They thought it was just small-town superstition." By noon, they were already hiking into the tree line. The first few miles were breathtaking. Towering pines, crystal streams, sunlight breaking through thick mist. It was everything Ethan had hoped for. The forest was alive, whispering through the wind, swaying in rhythm. Lily joked, "Guess that's why they call it Whispering Pines." But the deeper they went, the quieter it became. No birds, no insects, just wind. And the whispering wasn't random anymore. It almost sounded like words. Like the forest was repeating their names. By the time they set up camp that night, Mark was visibly uneasy. He said it felt like someone was following them. Ethan brushed it off. "Paranoia," he said. "We're fine. There's nobody out here." They laughed around the fire, drank, told stories. But later that night, when the fire died down, they heard footsteps outside the tent. Slow, deliberate, circling. Ethan shot up, unzipped the flap, and flashed his light. Nothing, just trees. But the sound of those steps, crunching through leaves, didn't fade away. They just moved deeper into the dark. The next morning, the forest looked different. Denser somehow, darker. Ben swore they'd already passed the same dead oak twice. The GPS confirmed nothing. Their signal kept cutting. Ethan launched his drone for an aerial view. When the footage came back, something about it felt wrong. From above, their camp was surrounded by dozens of circular clearings, each forming a spiral pattern leading straight to where they stood. Ethan didn't tell the others. He didn't want to freak them out. But that night he couldn't sleep. He dreamed of trees leaning over him, whispering his name. When he woke up, there were handprints in the dirt outside his tent. Long, bony fingers pressed into the soil, all pointing toward the forest. By day 3, panic had set in. Their trail had vanished. The way they came in was now overgrown with thick brush that hadn't been there yesterday. Their compass spun uselessly, GPS completely dead. They decided to follow a stream, hoping it would lead back to civilization. That's when Lily saw it, a faded blue backpack half buried in mud. Inside was a hiker's ID from 5 years earlier. Someone listed as missing. There was a small camera inside, its battery long dead. Ethan powered it on using his charger. The screen flickered to life, and they saw the last clip recorded. A trembling man whispering to the lens. "The forest moves when you're not looking. It's not the same when you turn around." Then static. That night, Mark went missing. They found one of his boots near the stream. The leather warped and melted as if exposed to fire. No signs of struggle, no blood. Just a trail of footprints that led straight into the woods and stopped. Ethan screamed his name for hours. Somewhere deep in the trees, he heard a faint voice echo back. "Ethan!" It was Mark's voice, or something that sounded like it, but it came from every direction at once. The remaining three built a fire and stayed up together. The forest around them pulsed with sound, whispers, cracks, faint laughter. At one point, Lily swore she saw faces in the bark, hollow eyes, open mouths. Ben told her to stop talking crazy. But when Ethan checked the drone footage later that night, he froze. The feed showed a figure standing just outside the glow of their campfire, tall, pale, and still. When it stepped forward, the feed glitched violently, then cut to static. By morning, Lily was gone. Her backpack hung from a branch 20 feet off the ground. Inside was her phone, its screen cracked but recording. The last video showed her whispering through tears. "They don't want us here. The trees remember." Ethan and Ben wandered aimlessly until they stumbled across an old fire lookout tower, half collapsed, swallowed by moss. Inside were burnt journals, maps marked Whispering Pine Zone, and a message scrawled across the wall in charcoal. "The forest knows." They stayed there that night, back to back, gripping their flashlights. Around 2 a.m., Ben whispered, "Do you hear that?" A soft voice drifted from outside the tower, calling his name. Then it called Ethan's, then both at once. When Ethan turned his light toward the sound, the doorway was empty, but the whisper came from right behind him. He spun around. Ben was gone. Only his flashlight remained, still glowing on the floor. Ethan ran. He didn't stop until the trees opened up into sunlight. He collapsed onto a dirt road, sobbing uncontrollably. Hours later, a park ranger found him wandering barefoot and disoriented. They searched the area for 2 weeks. They found nothing. No gear, no tents, no footprints past a half-mile from where Ethan was discovered. The ranger said it was like the forest had swallowed them whole. Ethan never camped again. He deleted his channel, moved to the city, and refused to speak about what happened. He told one therapist, before quitting after 2 sessions, that he sometimes still hears whispers in his sleep. Sometimes they say his name. In 2020, a hunter's drone footage went viral online. It showed the same part of the Bitterroot Mountains, near the old Whispering Pines Trail. In the distance, among the trees, 4 figures stood motionless, pale, silent, facing the camera. One of them looked exactly like Ethan. They say the forest has a memory, and some memories never fade.